Get your free copy of the complete tutorial at www.teachucomp.com/free.
In this lesson, we will examine the items that you should create within the item list in your QuickBooks company file to use when managing trust accounts. Please review the lesson titled Setting Up Inventory in Chapter 5 and the lesson titled Service Items in Chapter 6 if you need assistance in creating reimbursable items. The items created will be double-sided items, like the ones created in Lesson 29.7, Creating Billing Line Items, within this tutorial. First, you should set up double-sided service type items for any expenses that are provided and paid for by the law firm and then later reimbursed by the client, like photocopying charges or postage. You can then use these items to collect reimbursement to the law firm from your client's trust account. When creating these items, set the expense account field within the purchase information side of the item to the client trust liabilities account that you created in the last lesson. You can then set the income account field within the sales description side of the item to the appropriate expense account. Once you have created these items, you can then use them within the Enter Bills window to record expenses as you provide services or incur the costs for the client. Note that you should fill in the customer job field for the line items when used in a bill to record the client and matter to which the recorded expense should apply. Also note that you should consider adopting a naming convention for these items for the law firm expenses that are passed through to the client, such as client expenses-postage, so as not to confuse them with normal types of items used in invoices that record income through their use in a sales form and record expense when used in a purchase transaction. Next, you should create items for client costs that are paid directly from the client's trust account. For example, if you use a client credit card account to pay for client expenses, you could then choose to have the client's trust account pay for the credit card bill when it arrives. To set up items that represent these types of expenses, you must create a double-sided service item. You can then set the account fields within both the purchase information and sales information sections to the client trust liabilities account. You can then use this type of item within bills entered against the client trust accounts payable account or within credit card charges made against the client trust credit card account. Once again, a separate naming convention with these types of items can be useful when creating them within the item list. Finally, you should create double-sided service items that will be used for any lawyer's fees that will be paid directly from the client trust account. As with the items that you just created, the account shown in both the purchase information and the sales information side of this item should be set to the client trust liabilities account, and you should also consider a naming convention for these items, such as fees paid from trust as well. When you enter this item into a bill, the item transfers the listed amount into the client trust accounts payable account.
Like what you see? Pick up your free copy of the complete tutorial at www.teachucomp.com/free.